Walter Hicklin graduated from Missouri Valley College with a Bachelor of Science degree in mathematics in 1961. He obtained his Master of Science in Mathematics from the University of Central Missouri and an Education Specialist degree in Higher Education Administration from UCM. At MVC, Hicklin was selected as Mr. Viking and served as president of V Club. He was named a Who's Who in colleges and universities, earned academic All-American and All-Conference football honors, and was a national track and field qualifier in the long jump. After graduation, Hicklin began his teaching and coaching career in the Lee Summit R7 School District, beginning as a math teacher and football coach and later becoming head of the math department, head football coach, athletic director, and assistant principal. Some honors garnered during his 14 years at Lee Summit include 4 conference football championships and being named Kansas City Suburban Football Coach of the Year 3 times. Hicklin left Lee Summit to become the head football coach and mathematics professor at Central Missouri State University, now the University of Central Missouri. He served as the head football coach for 5 years and head track and field coach for 1 year. He retired in 2006 as Vice President Emeritus of Student Affairs after having served the university for 31 years. Hicklin has been recognized for his innovative retention programs and has been involved with the Missouri Boys State program for 37 years. In 2011, Hicklin was inducted into the Missouri Boys State Hall of Fame. In 2001, Hicklin was inducted into the Missouri Valley College Athletic Hall of Fame. Hicklin has served as president of the Johnson County United Way, Warrensburg Rotary Club, and Warrensburg R6 School Board. Hicklin also serves as a deacon and elder for the First Presbyterian Church and previously sat on the Central Missouri Community Credit Union Board of Directors.
Then my junior year and senior year in high school, I spent a lot of time watching the Missouri Valley College team play. When it came time to choose, I had the opportunity to go to Rutgers University on a football scholarship. In fact, the coach that recruited me at Rutgers was an assistant coach there. He was a Missouri Valley grad. And of course, one of my high school coaches was also a Missouri Valley College graduate. But I had decided to go to Rutgers University. I had signed the letter of intent, and all at once Volney Ashford showed up at my house. When Volney left, Mom was sold on Volney Ashford. Dad still wanted me to go to Rutgers University. He thought that was the best thing for me. But you know, I'm a homeboy, east side of Kansas City, never been any place in my life. And when they flew me up to Rutgers University, I thought, wait a minute, this is too big and too far away from my home for me. So I decided on going back to Missouri Valley College and got enthused with being in Pop Ferguson's classes. And I loved the man and wanted to stay, although, you know, my career didn't start out with Pop quite that way. About the second week of classes in my freshman year, we came in and he asked if anybody could work this particular class. Well, nobody raised their hand. Finally, I raised my hand. He looked at me and said, "Oh, Mr. Hicklin, do you have that one?" I said, "I think I can work it." So I got up and worked it. And you know, he knew Latin and everything else, and he looked at it after I got through and he said, "Malabli visu, malabli vidictu, so good to see, so good to hear. I have to change my opinion of you, Mr. Hicklin." Well, I think some people might question my choice, but I'd choose Byron Bana. Bana was the type of person, he was a dean of men, at least. I don't think he was a dean of women. I don't know whether we had a dean of women because I wasn't connected with them, but he was our dean of men. You know, during the year, you could go to Dr. Bana and just say, "Mr. Bana or Dr. Bana, I really need your help in this or that," and he would really help you. He was an outstanding history teacher also. And then another one that I had, my senior year, I was a student assistant for Dr. Twito, our academic vice president and so forth at the time. And Dean Twito was a funny guy. And being his student assistant, it was a wonderful time to be able to get to see the insides of the university administration there at Valley. And I think that he had a real nice, down-to-earth tone of himself and so forth. He even had me teach his history class when he went to a conference, and that was quite an experience as a senior to be able to step in and teach a history class, which, thank goodness, it was a freshman history class. It wasn't one of the advanced ones, but he was one I always enjoyed. And then because of Dr. Collins, our president at the time, not a lot of people got to know him well, but I did. And the reason I got to know him well, I was also a track man besides football, and he was very interested in track. I've had a lucky career all my life. When I came out of Valley, I got to go to Lee Summit High School right out of Valley. Lee Summit High School was one of the largest high schools in the state at the time, even then. Just the day before Christmas, I was called at home by Jim Brockman, the principal, and called up to his office. And he called me in and sat down and talked to me for a while, and he said, "You know, I don't really want you, but the superintendent, Dr. Campbell, the athletic director, Dr. Charlie Childress, and our former head football coach, Bob Dykeman, all think you're the person that should be taking over our football program. And at 23, I don't believe you're old enough to take it over. But he said, you're an outstanding math teacher, and you've got a wonderful wife. I'm sure she'll keep you in line. So I think she can handle you, and you'll be able to become our new head football coach. And I'd established a good enough reputation that I got the head football job at the University of Central Missouri at that point, and walked into a program that was struggling and having a lot of problems and so forth. And that was an experience. But, you know, it was a wonderful time for me. That was a wonderful time in football. Football has been something that has given me so much in all my life. And in fact, really, if you look at football, I've had 3 careers, because I've been a head football coach, I've been an assistant football coach, but not very long. But I also, after I quit coaching, after 5 years at Central, I decided I'd given 19 years to giving the officials the devil I could officiate football. So I started officiating football, and I officiated at high school and college. And I had the state finals in high school, and I had a couple of bowl games in college, which was a tremendous opportunity for me too. And I spent about 25 years officiating. And then after that, in 1996, I went to scouting for the Canadian Football League. I tell you what, while I was assistant vice president, and I had Ed Elliott sitting down in the president's office, I came up with a program that I was looking around, and I thought, here we have students coming to the university that they come in with 24, 25, 26, 28 ACTs even, and they flunk out of school after 1 year. And I started looking around, and we'd had other type of programs for them and so forth, and I sat down and I thought, you know, these people just need some specialized attention. So I worked up a program and went down and talked to Ed about it. And I said, Ed, here's what I want to do. And I said, it won't cost you anything. I'll handle it entirely. With my other duties, I'll still handle this myself. I want to go through and find me 30 students that I think qualify to should be making it and aren't making it. And I want to bring them in with specialized programs. I'll do it. I'll work it out. I'll make sure I take care of it, and we'll see how it goes as a pilot program. Not only did it work, but we received a national Noel Levitz International Award for it. I spoke and presented that program to the national conference and all that type of thing. And I think that's one that's still going strong. And Mr. Viking is tied up into the athletic process so much. And with Volney Ashford there, when Volney was there, he had so many things that he really wanted his student athletes to be involved in the community and so forth. You know, I can remember volunteering for flag football, the 5th grade coach of flag football team for the 5th grade of one of the schools there, because I wanted to give back to the community. Today's NCAA and NAI both, they think that's a big thing that they've started trying to emphasize athletes be involved in community. Volney Ashford and Missouri Valley College did that 60, 70 years ago. He thought that that was very important for all of us to do those kind of things. And I think that when you put that thing all together and look at it, being able to say that what Mr. Viking stood for was not just your athletic stuff, but what you had done in the other areas of community service and that type of thing too, and what you did with your fellow students. So it really meant a lot to me, and it's a pride, that one of the prideful things that I have. I've gotten quite a few awards, but that's one of the awards that I always am very proud of. I think that people have to stay connected, and they can do so by just visiting the campus. In fact, Valley right now has done so many things that it's so inviting that they would really be amazed if they haven't seen it for a while. One of the best things that Missouri Valley College ever did for me was the little gal that I married. And we met, see, Volney, that's another community thing that Volney used to do. Volney used to say, okay, we'll take a break from practice today because freshmen are coming in and you need to get over and help move the girls in. Well, they didn't have to ask too many of us to do that because that's what we were going to do anyway. But my junior year, we're moving them in, and I see this cute little old brunette over there. And her father wasn't real anxious to have too many football players help her move in. I can tell that, but I got to at least lug some of her stuff into the room. And we first met there, and then I can remember later one night we were over at the old Pop Ferguson Union, which was the Quonset huts and so forth, and she was walking out, and I walked up beside her, started talking to her. She had an ice cream cone. She was licking on it, and she turned to me and said, "You want to lick on my ice cream cone?" And I knew right there, that's the girl I need to marry because I love ice cream cones. So that's the one thing I can say, just as Jim Brockman told me the best attribute I had was my wife, that's really true. The best attribute I've had is my wife my entire life for 51 years. And I couldn't have done anything without her. She's the main reason that it worked.